everyone. I saw this feature on SmilingWhisper's profile quite recently, and on a few others as well. So I thought I'd share my worst breakup with you. My worst breakup took place 12 years ago. I'd been with this girl for 4 years, and after 3 years we got engaged. But on what should have been the anniversary of our engagement, the first anniversary, we broke up. The year that we were engaged was quite a tumultuous time. It saw me fail 2 auditions to get into drama school. It saw my ex-fiancée get a place with the leading disability theatre company in the UK, a 6-month placement with them. And it saw my father diagnosed with bowel cancer, which thankfully he managed to overcome. It was quite a time, a lot going on, and we started running into trouble about 3 months before we actually broke up. Quite out of the blue, it seemed to me. My fiancée came round to see me one evening and told me that she'd been doing some thinking about us and that she was worried about the future. Partially this was because she was going to be going away for 6 months on her placement, but also there were just other things which had been aggravating her. Some of them were to do with me as well. She felt that I wasn't really looking after myself, and she was thinking hard about what kind of future would we have, and she said to me that she wanted to make a future with me, but that she was just a little bit worried. It was a bit of a shot across my bow, it was a warning shot really, but in many ways it would have been preferable, I think, if she just dumped me there and then, because the next 3 months were spent with me desperately trying to save the relationship. And as anyone who's ever been in that position knows, there's no more thankless task than trying to revive a relationship which one party has started to give up on. It's like chasing after a trolley that's running down a hill. The more you try and catch up with it, the faster and further away it seems to get. And just when you think you're getting a handle on things, just when you think you're catching up and able to slow the trolley down, suddenly the person who's inside it pops up and starts pushing you away, punching you in the face, doing anything to try and get away from you. I fell into all those emotional compromises that you do when you're trying to save a relationship, where you find yourself thinking things like, well, sure, we haven't made love for 2.5 months, and she's not wearing her engagement ring anymore, but hey, she let me kiss her goodnight on the lips tonight rather than the cheek. I mean, that's got to count for something, hasn't it? But unfortunately it didn't. On what should have been our anniversary engagement, we went away for the night to a hotel. It was supposed to be a romantic night to put the spark back into the relationship, but it was a dreadfully corrosive evening. By this point she was openly contemptuous towards me, and I had lost all patience with her by this time. We had a dreadful evening, and it ended up with us having a horrible row, one which we could have had at any point over the previous 3 months, but this was where all the bile and bitterness and resentment came spilling out. The next day we went back to my house for breakfast, and it was an awful scene around the table. I was still living with my parents at that point. My fiancée was trying not to cry. I couldn't think of anything to say. My father went into the garden after 5 minutes because he couldn't stand it, and my mother was just trying to keep up a ceaseless parade of conversation just to try and make things normal again. We'd gone past the point of no return, and my fiancée phoned me the next day to say that we were over, and my reaction at that time was one of relief. I was thinking, well, she's treated me like shit for months now. I'm better off without her. I really don't need her. I'm not going to be heartbroken. I was almost psychopathic in my determination not to be heartbroken. I think this lasted a period of about 8 weeks.